Super Dario World.
And let's move on to the NFC West. So the NFC West was a pretty competitive division. It's been a pretty competitive division for a while. Let's begin with the winners of last year, the LA Rams. The LA Rams finished with a record of 10-7. They had a rough patch there early in the season, but with head coach Sean McVay. Again, I always go Mike. I don't know why. Sean McVay turned things around. The big question mark for them is that quarterback Matthew Stafford, who they gave a 2-year extension to, has been having back issues throughout the offseason, and he did not participate in training camp for quite a while. So back injuries are very, very problematic, not just for any NFL players, but for everybody. So it's something to keep an eye on. Matthew Stafford have a history of injuries. The Detroit Lions did run him to the ground, so he's not that old, but he has taken a beating. Honestly, I thought he was going to probably retire soon, but 2 more years is not that bad. The Rams did interesting moves in the draft. So they've been drafting pretty well. They haven't had a first round draft pick in like a decade. They traded all their draft picks for an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, and it worked out, so good for them. And this was the first year that they were going to have a first round draft pick, but they traded it to the Falcons for next year's draft, their next year's first round draft pick. So I think they kind of fleeced the Falcons. And again, they've been drafting pretty well because they have a lot of really good players and no first round draft picks. So they've found some gold in the later rounds. Anyway, so next year they have 2 first round draft picks. So a lot of people are speculating they're going to take those 2 draft picks to trade up in the draft and get a quarterback or the quarterback of the future, depending on, I guess, what Stafford decides to do. I don't know. But again, that's a real well-run organization, and it seems like they have a clear plan for the future. Now, their biggest notable departure is Cooper Kupp, who left for the Seattle Seahawks, division rival. But to compensate for that, they did get free agent Davante Adams, who should still be one of the better wide receivers in the league. So losing an aging Cooper Kupp for an aging Davante Adams, this seems like a pretty good trade. They also picked up Poona Ford from the Chargers, which still hurts. Poona Ford was a defensive tackle. He was great last season. Just a total wrecking ball down the middle of the defense, on the middle of the defense. So I hate it. I hate that this team got so much better. The only question mark, again, is Matthew Stafford's back. And that's a big question mark because the backup is Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo we've seen is not the greatest quarterback out there, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, they're in position, again, like all teams, barring injury or whatever, right now they're in position to maintain their control of the NFC West, I believe. Next, you got the Seattle Seahawks, who finished off last season with a record of 10-7. This was the debut season of Coach McDonald, who was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens. It was a decent season. Not the best, but okay overall. I'd say pretty good. Shows potential. They start off this season, after getting rid of quarterback Geno Smith, they picked up Sam Darnold from the Vikings. So Sam Darnold had a pretty good season with the Vikings. We'll see if that translates to the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks offensive line is not great, but I believe they bolstered it enough. They also got rid of their star wide receiver, DK Metcalf, who they sent to the Steelers. So to replace him, as I mentioned before, they got Cooper Kupp, who was a free agent. So I'm not sure what the Seahawks are going to be. They could be pretty good. Again, the head coach McDonald is a defensive guy, so defense should be pretty stingy. We just don't know what their offense is going to be or what the running game is going to be yet. Next, the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are the eternal mediocre team. I don't know. Like, everybody expects a lot from them, and they end up with a record of 8-9 and miss out on the playoffs. They had potential. Their head coach, had what's the word I call? They're feisty. They played really feisty. Their head coach has the guys motivated, but they just suck down the line always. I don't know what happens, but they do have some offensive weapons. Kyler Murray can play. He's fun to watch. Just not a closer, I guess. I don't know. They have offensive weapons like Marvin Harrison Jr. Did not have a great rookie season. Hopefully he turns around. Most wide receivers start getting better towards year 2, year 3. They extended tight end Trey McBride 4 years, who was one of the better tight ends in the league, maybe the best. I'd say not the best, but one of the better ones. And they still have James Conner, so they should have a pretty decent passing and running game. Like, James Conner always makes points in fantasy football. But I don't know what's up with this team. I don't know why they always collapse. However, to make their defense better, they did get Josh Sweat from the Philadelphia Eagles, and they drafted their first their first 5 draft picks were all defensive players. So theoretically, their defense should be better because, again, Gannon is a defensive guy, but we'll see how it goes. Finally, the San Francisco 49ers finished off last season with a terrible record. Let me just confirm that real quick because nope, that's not what I was going for. Where are you? Oh, well, looks like there we go. 49ers record because I have it wrong. 2024 record. There we go. They finished off with a record of 6-11, and they were all the way the bottom of their division. They moved on from 17 players during free agency, which is usually not great. Some of the notable players who left were Deebo Samuel, who they traded for the Commanders, Jordan Mason, who left for the Vikings, Javon Hargrave, Vikings, Leonard Floyd, Falcons, Talanoa Hufanga, who left for the Broncos, Dre Greenlaw, Broncos, Aaron Banks, Packers, Shavarius Ward, Colts, Josh Dobbs, Patriots, Brandon Allen, Titans, Jalen Moore, Chiefs, and Elijah Mitchell to the Chiefs. So it's a lot of players to lose. Most of them were probably salary cap stuff, but still, it's going to be a tough turnaround. Fortunately, they have an easy schedule, and on the plus side, they did extend quarterback Brock Purdy. They gave him a lot of money, a few $100 million. I don't know if he's worth it yet, but they seem to think so, so good for him. They also extended linebacker Fred Warner, who's probably their best defensive player. Maybe it's between him and Nick Bosa. Kyle Juszczyk, Mac Jones, and Trey Brown. So good for them, I guess. We'll see. I mean, again, easy schedule, and the key thing, the most important thing they did this offseason, they got back defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, who was fired by the Jets. So honestly, this team is very different with Saleh as their defensive coordinator. So is there potential for them to turn things around this season? Maybe, but again, it's a very competitive division, very competitive. And a lot of the teams have question marks, a lot of them. So on paper right now, no injuries. I'd say the Rams should take it again. Number 2 is rough. It could be any of the other 3. Man, like I want to believe in the Cardinals. I want to, but they always just spit in my face. They always just make me look like an idiot. But the 49ers are the 49ers, and they have an easy schedule because they were dead last season. So I'm going to go Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals. I don't know. Honestly, this division, it's one of the most competitive ones. So we'll see how that ends up going. So before we move on to the AFC, let me just give you a quick reminder that if you want to join my NFL Picks page, NFL Picks League, you can. Just go to NFLPicksPage.com, type in the pool SDW League, and the password is SDW2025. That's SDW, all capital letters. It's fun. All you have to do is pick which team you think it's going to win for each game, and you get a point for it. At the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins. I'm putting in $100, so winner takes all. If you guys want to bet, you can. Winner take all. So if you want to bet $5, $20, $50, you can. Just let me know at Super Dario World at and at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW on Instagram. Just let me know so I can keep a counter and let people know, like, oh, it's up to $1 million right now or something, just to make things fun. Again, you don't need to pay anything. It's free. If you want to make it more exciting, you can. If you didn't bet anything and you win, you take it all. It's free. You can. I just do it for fun. So there you go. That's it.